dentistry. You gotta focus on yourself, on your faith, on your dreams, on your mind, on your health, yeah. You gotta work, never tell, keep your head down, find what you love and excel, yeah. Push and pull and repel any hate, go create what you want, feel compelled, yeah. And once you finally get a taste of the race, you'll never look back once you felt that. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first.
I just realized what was turned off, guys. What up? We're back again for you know, just random Q&A. We'll talk about stories. Also, what is up?
Yo, I think about others way before myself, yeah. I guess that's why I feel like I go through hell, damn. Wasting time on your dreams instead of mine, yeah. About to turn this franchise around on a dime, man. It's all about finding your right state of mind. It's all about turning the worst into fine. It's all about time and the work and the climb. From the thirst we will rise, I'm immersed in this life. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first. Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself
My
first.
sibling texted me. That's funny.
Don't let somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on yourself first.
They want my headset telling me to
Don't
charge
let
it.
somebody take your time and your worth, just focus on
What's up,
yourself
motivation?
first.
Everybody else left. They didn't copy it. A lot of people are offline on the server today. Oh wow, it is really? Okay, hold on. Turn the music down. Turn my voice up. My bad. I did not know the music was actually loud. Motivation. Thank you for that. This is manifested. Called it. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about just everything. So for right now, we got stories coming. Shit, you know, we gotta get these stories in. Still working on a few of them. I give y'all a little bit of a glimpse of what I'm doing. Here, hold on. I am working on a story called. I am still working on Dark One for All. It's coming along nicely. Still working on Infinity Stones because I need to get it done as well. And working on another story as well. But I'll wait till we have more people in here to ask this question, because it's about a story that I like, that I might do, so. I don't believe I've ever seen anyone do this story. I could easily be wrong, but what about you, Motivation or Grim Reaper? You got any questions for me? Somebody just popped online on the server. Nope, I was wrong. I forgot this bot was in here. You don't got anything right now? That's alright. I'm wondering about something though. How many people actually like watching these Q&As? They get a lot of views, well, a decent amount of views, but oh well. Phew! Sorry about that. Alright. Got another person watching now. Wonder if they got any questions. Oh. I'm gonna talk a little bit about one of my stories that I might do. So, I've got an idea for a story. I'm glad somebody likes them at least. I'm talk about the idea for the story I had earlier though. Story is called Galactic Emperor. Don't believe I've ever seen anyone do a story like this. His power is known as Galaxy. It is a My Hero Academia story, but it's not. The people have quirks, but Izuku doesn't grow up like he does in the story. He is born through chaos. He was born to essentially govern Earth. He was born by the Celestials to be a primordial. Not just any primordial, though, he's the king of them. Or the prince for now. So he is sent to govern Earth. Help them grow the planet. Because another Celestial already fucked it up by giving them quirks through his death. And Izuku essentially governs this planet and eventually sees that the humans don't really know what to do with their power. The planet's going to hell. Everything's just dying, essentially. So he decides to go across the entire planet and steal everyone's powers. Take them away permanently. Afterwards, he decides to completely destroy the Earth. What's up, Lester? He does something similar to what Galactus would do. He devours the planet. I'm not going to question that one. After devouring Earth, he decides to essentially travel the galaxy, only to find out that all of the gods that govern under the Celestials have not been doing their job. So he goes around and starts devouring the gods. Until eventually a group of about 50 gods bind together to create the God Killer, or the Celestial Killer, as they called him. He was meant to be able to kill a primordial. He was meant to fight Izuku. They fought for hundreds of millennia. I'm talking like fucking 300 million year long fights and shit. And at the end of the fight, they both decide why are they essentially are asking why are they even fighting? Because, you know, over time, fighting someone for that long, even if you're trying to kill each other, you'll still grow sort of a bond with that person, because that'll be the only person you're around for an incredibly long time, whether you're fighting that person to the death or not. And so, by the end of their fight, they've essentially became friends. And Izuku tells him that maybe in another life we could have been friends. And the Celestial Killer, I don't have a name for this character yet, says that this is true, maybe we could have been friends, and decides to kill himself to kill Izuku. Upon Izuku's death, however, he is reborn into a different society. A society where only females have quirks, instead of everyone having them. In this society, he was born to Inko Midoriya and another woman named Aiko Midoriya, or Aiko Shigaraki, all for one. He was born through another woman that had a quirk that could change a person's gender for only a set amount of time, and they changed Aiko's gender to a male so that he could have a child with Inko, and then after his gender went back. So the child does have both of their DNA. Upon realizing that only females have quirks, little Izuku decides that he is going to show off his power to his mother to see what her reaction would be. So he starts to make things float around the house, doing just little things like that. In character creation? DM me a link on Discord, please. And essentially, after sort of showing off his power, Inko calls Aiko, or All for One, and she arrives and essentially wants to check Izuku's power, what it is, because she's impressed that her son has a quirk. Izuku decides to disguise his power and have it only be a quirk, or be recognized as a quirk, so that Aiko can see it. Afterwards, he decides, after roughly we do a good bit of times. Yep, roughly 15 years, or no, roughly a few years. So he'll be about roughly 15 years old now. After this, he decides to show Aiko and Inko who he really is. He shows them all of his past memories, and to his surprise, All for One turns on him and is terrified because she raised a monster, a being capable of destroying anything, and she did not want to raise that type of power because she was terrified of it. So Izuku then decides to erase their memory of him and replace it with a daughter who had the power he chose. And he decides to go off and live on his own and then govern this world instead, creating a new world order in the blink of an eye. And before anyone could even realize it, he'd made an entire base on the Earth and was generating a new world order. An order that would not only stop corruption, but would put fear into the hearts of those who dared oppose him. The govern of the galaxy. The Galactic Emperor. Essentially a communism. Fucking essentially a communism. Fuck it. That's all it is. Well, sort of a communism. Sort of not a communism. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do with it yet. I'll figure it out. But, yeah. That is essentially the story. And if you all would like to see this story up, eventually, I will do a poll on Galactic Emperor. And you all can tell me if you like it or not. Because it is a pretty time-consuming story to write if I chose to write it, so... Alright. Till then, this is Crimson, and I'm signing off for this Q&A.